Hi, everyone. This is
Hi,
Nay.
sorry.
That's okay.
I've been at my computer. I totally lost track of time. I'm here. Hi.
Hi, we are live, and this is another episode of Nayla's Thrift Talk. And for those of you who are new, I am Nay,
And I'm Lola.
and we love to talk. We both are avid thrifters, and we thrift. We do resell. We thrift not only to resell on platforms like eBay and Etsy and Depop and Mercari and Poshmark, but also for environmental sustainability because of the uniqueness factor, the fun of it, and also for our own lives, our own homes, and our own families.
Very well said. I love that. And today we are talking all about holiday decor trends for 2020. So we did do a very in-depth episode last year, which I totally recommend you guys check out with one of our friends and favorite well, I don't want to play favorites with our guests. They're all the best.
Yes.
And mostly focused on vintage Christmas decor, which is a big trend this year. We also did a Hanukkah episode. So if you have joined our channel within the last few months, since last holiday season, definitely go back and watch these episodes. They're super deep dives, go into lots of bolos, lots of things that you should be listing right now. Looking forward, people are shopping for their holiday decor now, so this is the time to have it all listed.
Yes. So if you look in our archives on our channel, Nayla's Thrift Talk, I highly recommend that you subscribe. Last November 15th, we did a show all about Christmas and vintage Christmas decor, everything Christmas, with our friend Ginny, who is often in the chat. And so look in our archives. That was from last November 15th. And then we did a show with our friend Zach Portman, who is a Judaica expert and also an awesome artist who makes hand-carved Judaica items. And so that is all about Hanukkah, was on December 11th of last year. So definitely catch those two episodes, and that will fill you in a little bit more on what we're talking about today as well.
But of course, this year things are a little bit different. So we're going to talk today about how to anticipate what buyers are looking for in terms of this unusual holiday season. People are staying more at home. People aren't traveling as far. So yeah. Heather says she remembers the Hanukkah show. Time flies. Yeah, it does not feel like that was an entire year ago. It's so weird.
I think it's almost like we're in a time warp this year with COVID and everything. Time is just going by unusually slow and fast at the same time, it feels like.
So true. It's so true.
Yeah, it is very odd.
Listing Christmas items as I listen. That's perfect. I hope you get super inspired. And if you got any good bolos up, let us know. I'd love to know.
Yeah. So Heather sent me right before the show. Heather, who's in the chat, sent me a couple things to show later. So I'll show those. She had a sale. Got some
Jenny,
we were just talking about you, Jenny.
Were your ears burning?
And so our first segment is we're going to talk about what we're wearing that's thrifted. And I see it looks like you have something very festive and fun on, Lola.
I do. So I think I showed this. Oh, yeah. Thanks. Whoops.
There we go.
No. I've done this before. I know how to do this. Okay, well, this works. Sorry, Nate. I'll bring you up in a second.
That's fine.
So I showed this on a previous haul. I got this from Good Fare, which is a sort of like an online thrifting website. You buy a bundle, sort of like the Goodwill Blue Box, where you don't know what's in it. You just know sort of the broad category of what it is. It's a little bit, they're marketing as like a little bit nicer. So things that you can expect to be able to wear, whereas, the blue boxes are a little more hit and miss. But they did do ugly Christmas sweater boxes. So I got one last year, and this is one of the sweaters I got in it. It's just really like funky, like perfect classic, real ugly Christmas sweater, not the novelty ones that they've started making now. It's a little big on me. but I mean,
I like the zipper too. That's nice.
yeah, it is really nice, well made, really beautiful, like appliques on it. It's very detailed. So, you know, it's not my usual style, but I can appreciate the detail on it.
Looks like it's vintage 90s.
Yes, definitely vintage 90s. And underneath, I am wearing a Helmut Lang dress that I got from, see, the neckline's really pretty.
Ooh,
I got from the Real.
Ooh.
If it wasn't free, it was like $5 because I had a free credit with them. And I mentioned this before, if you sign up for their emails, occasionally you'll get like a $30 credit and it goes towards everything. So you can use it on sale items that are under $30 and basically get stuff for free. Mm-hmm. And 2 of my friends got married on Zoom today. So I actually got up and put on some makeup and wore a dress. So yeah.
The new age of weddings.
Yeah, for sure. Heather says, not really ugly, it's cute. It is cute. I wouldn't say this is like ugly Christmas sweater, just like kitschy Christmas sweater.
Kind of like the blanket term. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That category more than it's not ugly itself, but yeah.
Jenny likes it too.
I totally agree. You don't want to insult anyone who would wear this normally, but it's definitely, I could wear it to like an ugly Christmas sweater party and it would work. Yeah. Okay, Nay, what are you wearing?
I am wearing today.
I'm not sure how to switch us.
I think you just.
There we go.
I get it. Yeah. Okay. So I am wearing. This sweater is actually Chico's, which isn't a brand that like I wear a lot, but when I find something I like, I will pick it up. And it's got, if you can see, it's got metallic gold flecks in it. It's an off-the-shoulder kind of roomy sweater. So it's super cozy and kind of, fits in with the holiday theme. And then this scarf is also thrifted. I think I got this scarf in the bins and it's got also metallic flecks in it. And then I am wearing, I promised Brian last week that I am wearing my Hanukkah hat. So I wear this all winter. I will wear this. I love going out to Target or whatever, and I'll wear it. Even though I am not Jewish, I am, I love Hanukkah and I've celebrated it with friends and whatnot. So I love my Hanukkah hat. So I'm also celebrating a little bit of Hanukkah today.
So cute.
Yes.
Are we ready for our next segment?
Yes. And our next segment is our thrifted home decor items of the week. So,
do you want to
Lola,
go?
Sure. I can go first. I can go. That's fine. I have a few things here. Oh, I forgot to show what my mannequin was wearing too.
Oh, go ahead.
But that's okay. So I'll just show that real quick. So she is wearing this was in a Goodwill blue box. The brand is Iman, which is David Bowie's wife, the model Iman.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not like anything that's a high-end clothing line. I think it's probably sold. It's sold probably at like Kohl's or lower-end retail stores. However, this is a perfect holiday sweater, and I will be listing this. It's kind of like mine, but a little more metallic. And she also has on I just kind of covered her with one of my Santa tees, my long sleeve tees, and a silvery scarf. So, and then this is actually a tree skirt behind me that I did thrift. I don't remember what I paid for it, but this is, I might use this one this year, but so that is, and it's nicely made, it's not vintage. I think it's more recent, but, and talking about things that are kind of retro and vintage, this is something that is perfect for this year in particular, because of the fact that people are cozying up, they're spending more time at home, and blankets and throws and all are very popular. So this is a granny square throw that I have. This is knitted or crochet?
It's crochet. Okay. Yeah, granny squares are almost always crochet.
Okay. So it is Christmas colored. So, it's a nice size because it's not too big, it's not too small, but it's very heavy. I'm not going to part with this one. I was actually going to sell it, and I still, oddly enough, I know I paid $5 for it. So, yeah, so I think I pulled it out of my inventory. I think I'm going to wash it and keep it and maybe just display it on my couch or something, because it's a really nicely made one. So, but that is something that you can sell at this time of year.
Totally.
I think I might have showed these last year, but these were in the bins. I was with you when I got them, Lola. The brand is Decorama.
I remember those. They're so cute.
They're made in Japan, or no, they're Dallas, Texas. I'm sorry. It does say Japan on it, but I guess they're made in Japan, but the company was in Dallas, Texas, so it says Dallas, Texas, and Japan on it. They did come with the box. The box is a little beat up. I don't have it anymore, but it was just like a cardboard box, basically. It wasn't anything. But I'm surprised that they survived the bins, because they are ceramic, and they're candle holders. But these are very vintage and mid-century. And I am not parting with these either. I was going to sell them, but I do use these to display at Christmas time. Another thing that's popular is with people being at home, and this is just from my own personal stash, but I think I paid like $1 or $2 at the thrift store for it. And it is a Christmas dream scented Yankee candle, but any kind of Yankee candles, holiday or winter, or, all those scents will sell. And then I have my Santa Grumpy Cat.
So cute.
Yeah. So, and I thrifted him for like $1 or so. And then I have also, this is a Fitz and Floyd mug. I have 2 of them. And yeah, so that is my mug for today. So lots of home decor items here.
Love it. Everything is on theme. I am not so on theme today because our Christmas decorations are still in the basement. I think we'll probably bring them up this weekend. As we will talk about later, people are decorating a little bit earlier this year. And I definitely am decorating a little bit early this year. We usually wait till Thanksgiving. I'm not going to.
Most people are. Yeah, we're going to be talking about that. So Jason, just to give you a little history, so he has a whole Yankee candle closet. He is really into Yankee candles. He's a girl. He's a girly girl.
I feel like I knew that and I totally forgot.
Yeah. So I knew he would like the candle. Yeah. So.
And is an expert on the scent. I don't think I've ever smelled that scent before, so I could not say. But clearly, Jason is on top of it.
Yeah, the black. So Jenny, the black stripe I know have more value, and she said the rest she burn. Yeah, I have trouble parting with them too, because I love to burn candles too. So I do.
Candles, they're such a good thing to buy secondhand because they can be so expensive new, and they're consumed when you use them, and they're so calming and nice to have around. So when you find a good one, at the thrift store, and it's not the high end ones that are going to fetch a ton of money, it's the perfect thing to keep for yourself. Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. You have a home decor. I didn't realize you didn't do yours. Yeah. So Lola, what do you have? That's okay. Sorry.
So
I am jumping ahead.
I'll just switch.
Here, let me just switch you. You just have to click and drag it.
Mm-hmm. So this is something that I've had in my personal stash in order, to get up and hung for ages. And I think I finally figured out how I want to do it.
Is that from the bins?
What?
Was that from the bins?
This was not from the bins. This was from my local thrift store. I don't think I was with you when I got it, actually.
Okay.
But it still has, they do the grease pen for the price that I just noticed. It still has the 50-cent. I don't know if you can see it on here. It's like very faint.
Yeah, I do. Circle Thrift.
Circle Thrift,
yeah.
And it is a map of the world.
Oh.
With New York City in the very center.
Oh, that is cool.
And I think it's hilarious that I found it in Philly, of all places, because New York have quite the rivalry. As you can see, it's not in great shape. It's, has some wear on the edges. It's very crinkled.
It has character, though. And I think if you framed it right, you wouldn't.
Yeah. So my only concern is that it would be super expensive to frame because it's so big. But I think what I'm going to do is get the magnetic wooden strips that you can get for the top and bottom to weigh it down and hang it that way.
Yeah.
And then at some point in the future, if I can afford to, I'd also love to have it taken to a professional and see if they can restore it a little bit, just because I can tell it's dusty and has some dirt on it, and I don't want to do too much to it because I just don't know the right thing to do. But on the bottom, it says published at Washington, D.C., U.S. Department of Commerce, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. But then it also has a sticker on it. So I guess it was made in DC and then it was sold at a store called J.L. Smith Co. Maps, established 1868. And then it has an address, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And the phone number is Locust 31757. So it has the old-fashioned exchange on it. So this is definitely, that helps date it. Like, this is definitely not recent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jenny has to look for a big frame at the thrift store. You never know what you can find. You know, in the art section, you never know.
Yeah, I have one larger IKEA frame I got at the thrift store. It's not quite big enough, but it was a great find because even from IKEA, they're not super cheap and it was brand new. Yeah, always a good thing to thrift too. So yeah, that's my that's one of my my most prized thrifted possessions. And if anyone out there is watching this and knows a little bit more about maps than I do and has any knowledge about, you know, why it was made and the history behind it, totally would love to know that. I did start doing it a little bit and did not find much in the way of information about the shop or the map itself. So I would love to know more.
Very cool. Very cool find. And I am just going to talk about this for a minute. Again, I'm a graphic designer and I'm doing packages for online sellers specifically. These special offers will only last until the end of December, and then I will need to raise the prices, but these are just 3 price point packages and you can customize them. You can add, you know, do different things, you know, that's fine. These are just ideas of packages that I can do. And if you are interested in, like, let's say getting your eBay store design, I can also do your Etsy store and I'll give you a 25% discount on the second package. And I can do anything, you know, logos, business cards, package inserts, anything for if you have a personal website, you know, that you sell on rather than one of the online platforms. I can do whatever you are interested in. So let me know. I am NS Designs or at N Shearstone Designs on Facebook. And you know where to find me. So, and next week we have a very special guest. Her name is Mindy Ketchell, and she is the manager of a thrift store, a brick and mortar thrift store called Helping Hands Mission Thrift. It is a charity thrift, and we'll talk about that. But she offers a really special service right now, which is she is offering during these hard times. You know, it's hard for brick and mortar stores to stay afloat, but also it's harder for people to shop now. And so she is offering live thrifting sessions to her clients. So her thrift store is in Grand Rapids, but anyone from anywhere can purchase from her because she offer live thrifting. So we'll be live with her next week and we will do a little bit of live thrifting, which will be really fun. And she's looking forward to being our guest. And so that will be next Friday, the 20th at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific time.
It's going to be so good. She also, I know she sells a bit on Instagram, so I'm really excited to ask her some questions about that because it's something I've dabbled in just a little bit, but not a whole ton. So
yeah, we're really looking forward to having Mindy on.
Perspective, yeah.
So that will be fun. And we're going to get started with our main segment, which is 2020 Holiday Decor Trends. So, Lila, do you want to start?
Yeah, do you have the link from the...
I sure do.
You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so this is a website or a report I found on an industry website, which is something I've started, you know, kind of seeking out in terms of all of these current trends research. Even though we're not traditional retail, it's really helpful to look at the industry, the retail industry's reports for, you know, traditional brick and mortar and e-commerce stores, because I think a lot of those trends are going to trickle down to us. And it also just gives us an idea of like what a customer is looking for more broadly and helps us understand the mindset of customers right now. So basically what this report says, nothing super, you know, surprising, but it's great to see the specific numbers. So this quote really stuck out to me. E-commerce sales will have record year-over-year growth of at least 40% in November and December combined. So, you know, this year, of course, people are staying home. They don't want to go out and do shopping that's not necessary. And we're already getting more and more comfortable with e-commerce. So I think there's just going to be that much more of a boost. And if people are looking on, Target and traditional retail websites for stuff, they might also eventually come over to eBay, even if that's not something that they've shopped before. So I think we will definitely see a benefit from that. And then the trends by category, super interesting. This article says the top category sales this holiday season will include athleisure and luxury lounge, which is definitely something that we touched on our athleisure in our work from home episodes. So you can go back and watch those. Definitely, those are the kind of clothing that's in right now. It's what people are wearing day to day because they're not leaving the house. Home furnishings and decor. So that's another thing that we'll talk more about. Tools, appliances, cooking, and kitchen equipment, which also makes sense. People are cooking more and have been all year. And this might be the time where they realize they're really into baking and now they're buying that KitchenAid mixer, or now they're asking for that one thing for Christmas that they've identified over the last few months that they really want. And then not as related to us, but streaming and subscription services and at-home entertainment, gaming, and fitness. So, that reinforces the trend that people are converting what they normally would leave the house for into things that you can do at home. And then on the flip side, different categories that are declining are ones that we might, have already guessed at, which is evening wear, career wear, things like that. Tailored garments, it says, which, anything that's going to be uncomfortable, that's not stretchy athleisure, are not what people are gravitating towards. And then electronics is also predicted to be down just because people spend their electronics budget on computers and things for work from home and school at home. So they've already kind of covered those bases.
Yes.
So we'll put this link in the show notes. It's, it's really comprehensive and it has just kind of a good overview that I think is very easy to kind of glean some information from that can help guide our thrifting businesses.
Absolutely. And so the holidays are obviously going to look different this year. One thing for sure is that people are decorating much earlier for Christmas and Hanukkah. I think, and just like we talked about, the shopping is going to be mostly virtual, and I think people are going to be shopping earlier this year. So Black Friday sales already seem to be starting at major retailers. So people may, already be in a shopping mood, and we'll probably end up seeing this trickle down to our platforms too. So,
yeah.
Now, definitely. Oh yeah.
Now is the time to list. Now is the time to maybe do a promotion. If you have any platforms like Instagram where you can reach out to some of your customers, it's a great chance to maybe encourage them to shop small business instead of, big chain.
Yep. And this article, I'll put all these links in, but this also goes through, basically saying that people are going to be spending the holidays at home in smaller groups, which is, obvious. And, Black Friday going digital, and, all those, so the light, all the public light displays and the public kind of holiday attractions are not going to be something that are going to be as big this year. People maybe do more drive-by light shows and whatnot, but I think they're decorating their homes, earlier. And I think they're, doing more this year because they're spending more time at home. So, that's, and, family traditions are going to be more, more popular. People are going to be spending time for Hanukkah, lighting the menorah at home, and instead of, in big public kind of ceremonies, so, everything is just trending towards home, and things are just scaled down a little bit. So, so I'll put the link to that article in there as well. But I think people are also going to be skipping fall decoration. Skipping fall decorate. They're decorating for Thanksgiving and all, but I've noticed like a skip from, like normally like you see more fall and Halloween decorations, but it was like, bam, Halloween was over. And I know in my town, I'm seeing so many Christmas and Hanukkah decorations up. Like it was like the day after Halloween, it seemed like people were jumping on it. So, you know, and I think people are definitely going to be focused on decorating for the bigger holidays instead of, you know, Christmas and Hanukkah as much. I mean, instead of Thanksgiving and, you know, Halloween is over, but I think they're going to be focusing more on Christmas and Hanukkah. And I've seen people, you know, going all out, like Christmas trees, multiple Christmas trees, colored Christmas trees, blow molds, lights, you know, all of that stuff. And I've also seen some houses that are decked in like blue and white for Hanukkah. So I think people are definitely jumping on that.
Yeah, I know a bunch of my friends have been talking about how they want to have multiple trees this year. And even though they might already have a tree or a day of life tree, they're going out and buying a second, smaller artificial tree and all the ornaments to go with it, things like that. So if there was ever a year when people were going to invest in sort of heirloom quality decorations, I think this is it, because if you're not traveling, you're not spending hundreds of dollars on plane tickets, you're not spending as much money on presents for extended family, you have more to allocate towards, you know, your decor and your home and making it a cozy place to spend the holidays. So I definitely think that's going to, you know, convert into sales trends.
Yeah, like Brian said, they're skipping Turkey Day because and that is true. That, I mean, with the numbers spiking now, people are canceling those you know, holiday gatherings, the Thanksgiving, the big Thanksgiving meals. They might be just doing a small dinner at home with their immediate family, and that's about it. So, you know, Jenny also had a comment about toys there. She said that new toys are going to be hot this year. She saw the Fisher Price Santa toy for $49.98, and she paid $375 for it. So yeah, that's true. I think. Yeah, definitely. I know I'm shopping.
I think Heather had a really, Heather had a really interesting point that there have been Etsy ads on TV, but not eBay. I have experienced the same thing. Tons of Etsy ads. The ads are just like the cutest ads ever, and I cry every time, and I will until like December 26th. But yeah, I haven't seen any eBay ads, so hopefully that we'll start seeing more because they should be advertising right now.
Yeah, that is a good point. So holiday style trends for 2020. So this article is about Christmas specifically, but we'll also get into Hanukkah and a little bit about Kwanzaa. So so vintage and nostalgia and retro, like vintage repro kind of trends are really big this year. And this is the color of the season. So it's Pantone. The Pantone color is classic blue. So you'll see a lot of navy blue, and which is interesting. So, and that also, you know, navy blue is also, you know, blue and white is also Hanukkah color. So a lot of plaids, ginghams, that kind of thing is also popular. Buffalo plaid, metallic and platinum tones.
I think the buffalo plaid too sort of ties back to we were talking about cottagecore and that, you know, gingham are really big this year in apparel and also in home decor. So definitely makes sense that you'd have it in Christmas decorations as well.
Yeah. Floral is another thing. Metal. So this is basically, you know, about colors of the season and, you know, trend. There's that buffalo plaid that you see. So all of those things are, and I think a lot of these trends too are kind of more homey too. They feel more, you know, kind of. And then also interesting is like pastels and color, you know, a lot of colors like retro and kind of like more mid-century colors. And we're seeing that also in, like I said, the colored Christmas trees. And those sales of those vintage metal trees are actually really huge right now.
Yeah, they've always been popular, but I think this year more than, you know, even like in over the last 10 years or so, I've definitely seen them go up in price. And I think they're going to be even more sought after this year.
Yeah. And I have a couple samples of those, but these are the holiday. I mentioned that classic blue. This is from Pinterest, and this gives you the Pantone colors that are really hot right now. And that classic blue is right there. But there's some, you know, fall. This is for fall and winter. So
yeah, those definitely
colors are. What's that?
Very mid-century. I have like a decor guide from, I think it's like 1952 or the late 40s maybe. Yeah. Almost exactly the same color scheme in those in those decor guides from mid-century as those are listed there. So.
Absolutely. And even if you look on some of, there's one of these, this is an aluminum Christmas tree that sold for $230. It's one of those, the vintage, original ones that had the box and everything. So if you find these in the thrift stores, these are really hot right now. So
I'm super curious how that seller shipped them, or this seller ships them through Poshmark. I'm guessing they probably had to upgrade the label.
Yeah, this is Poshmark. So I would think that they would probably have had to pay a little bit more than the regular standard Poshmark. But these have the original box and everything. But these aluminum, and like I said, I've seen some up. So these are really trending. They're really hot right now. So, and the repro ones as well. But and then if you look at some of the modern websites, like IKEA, you can see that kind of vintage, kind of mid-century vibes are trending. With.
Yeah, I noticed that like their tree topper is the spire kind of style that I have, a couple from mid-century, and so it's like very the traditional like IKEA Scandinavian kind of clean lines, but it was interesting to see some of the details seem very very vintage, and that's what's new in store this year. So it makes sense people are looking for those kind of styles.
Absolutely. So also do-it-yourself projects for decor. I know that one thing that is trending is like eco-friendly, and like, so not only like crafts and do-it-yourself. I think that's also because people are spending more time at home. So, but also like as far as gift wrapping, like eco-friendly gift wrapping, like this example shows fabric used, recycled materials, so inexpensive decor. So thrifting fits right into that. And people do consider eBay and Poshmark and any of our, secondhand market sales as a form of thrifting. So they will be possibly buying their items, more from us than they would be from, going to a brick and mortar, as we talked about. So
yeah, and I think listing all your crafting supplies is a great idea right now, because people are looking for either supplies to make Christmas decorations or gifts, or something to occupy themselves as it gets colder and people are staying inside more.
Yeah, I have a couple kits here. Just for example, this is a vintage Santa. It's got Santa napkin holders, and it's a Columbia Minerva, and it is one of the items that I need to get. I don't know if I don't think this is actually listed. I need to get on that.
Yeah,
I know. So people are looking for things like this. And then here's another one. This is a sock monkey kit. So so kits like this are going to be big this year because people are interested in eco-friendly, low budget, spending more time at home, crafts that they can do with their family and their kids, that kind of thing.
Ginny has a couple great tips in the chat. Always defer to our expert. So in terms of the mid-century trees, even the limbs can sell for good money. That is a great tip. I don't know if I would have thought to pick up, just the limbs, but that makes a lot of sense. And then also mention the aluminum tree color wheels. So, back in the day, the tree would usually be displayed with like a rotating light with color like films that create this like kind of kaleidoscope effect. And I know the trees often are not found with the wheels. So I'm guessing the wheels also sell well. And then, yeah, kids' crafts. That's a great point.
Yeah, yeah. And we got a comment about focusing on Hanukkah. Yeah, and I actually have some more Hanukkah stuff to show. So, so I sold, that's interesting that Jenny said this. So I sold a cross stitch. I showed it on a show a few weeks back. So on my local Facebook marketplace, there was a Dimensions Gold kit that was up for, I think I paid $5 for it. I ran over and grabbed that. I did a porch pickup, grabbed it so quickly. And I think I sold it for, I forget what I sold, $160. Like it went, yeah. So so definitely keep your eye out for those for sure. And yeah, so obviously we talked about going green. So I know you had mentioned wrapping gifts with fabric instead, and purchasing eco-friendly decor items. So sustainable Christmas products are on top of mind this year. Their eco-friendly Christmas searches are up 150% over the last few years. And the easy way to make an impact is to switch up your traditional wrapping routine, like we talked about with the fabric. So scarves. I know you talked about using scarves from the bins, Lola, for gift wrap.
Yeah, so that's a great wrapping method, because it also becomes a really nice extra little bonus gift. I think any trims and sort of odds and ends that you have in terms of like fabric and ribbon are great, because those can easily become wrapping as well, or they can use ribbon to decorate just like a plain brown like craft paper box is something that happens a lot there. Yeah. And then those can also be reused year after year. So definitely any of those kind of craft related items are going to be sought after for multiple reasons this year, I think. And then, did you want to talk about home decor?
Yeah, I just hold on one second. I just have to get, my son lost his connection on his Chromebook, sure. So I'm going to fix it real quick. Sorry about that. Let me.
So I'll just jump into some of the home decor items that we wanted to talk about. So we already mentioned like blankets and candles, anything that helps to create a really like cozy environment, I think are going to be really big this year, as potentially as gifts, but also just people buying those things to create the ambiance that they want while they're home. And we're talking about the holidays, but of course we also should be thinking about how, as a couple people in the chat have already mentioned, that it seems like a lot, especially big cities, are going to be mostly shut down soon because COVID cases are rising. So after so many months, I think people have already set up their work from home environments, and they've sort of done the priorities. And now there's a little bit more wiggle room to do the things that are not needs, but more wants, to, add an extra just layer of coziness to your home and get it spruced up a little bit and have it a really nice place to be. So I've been trying to think about those kinds of items that that people might be looking for. Pillows, I think, is another good one that, easy to ship, especially just the cases, and can be very expensive new. So secondhand is a great way to get those. And then table setting items. So vintage silverware. I know the gold plated or brass toned silverware has been big. I think it still is. They had the kit for the napkin rings, but if someone's not crafty, they might be looking for those new, or not new, actually already made as well, tablecloths, and also placemats, things like that. And then decor items that can be used as part of like the tablescape, or what's the word? I'm totally blanking. It's like the centerpiece of the table. So I've seen candelabras getting really popular for that, and different types of candlesticks, and then also florals. So that's something that might be a little bit less common to buy used, but could definitely be in market as well. Fake leaves, fake flowers, especially poinsettias, things like that.
Yeah, I know floral is one of the things that we had talked about. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
He was having some issues. So anyway, yeah. So, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just trying to figure out where I was here. So
I just talked a little bit about home decor. I'm sure you probably have more to add, and I think you also had some sold examples, right?
Yeah, I do. So these are some more things that are trending too, like Farmhouse Neutrals is another thing. Oh, these are still big. These vintage, the vintage ceramic trees, the light up trees like this. A lot of these are mid-century. They're, and these are these, I wouldn't say plentiful, but they can be found at thrift stores. You do have to be careful that you know, they do breakies. Like I've never sold one. I know my grandmother actually made one that my mom has that I will never sell. But, you know, these are very big, nostalgic, we talked about. So, and we'll post all of these articles, but this is, we talked about floral is trending. So pops of black. And this also, you saw a little bit with the buffalo plaid there too, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So faux fur. And then, I don't know if you mentioned like blankets and yeah, I heard you say pillows and things like that. For Hanukkah, so as far as Hanukkah goes, Hanukkah is this year is December 10th through December 18th. And people are, again, smaller guest lists, quarantine friendly gifts, you know, sharing with friends. So instead of, you know, maybe not celebrating together, you know, you would drop off some treats or whatever at a friend's house, that kind of thing. Pajamica. So yeah, and pajamas and loungewear is big for Christmas, for Hanukkah, just winter loungewear, that kind of thing. So think about that too. And a menorah. So that's a menorah that won't blow out in a gust of wind, because a lot more Hanukkah celebrations, if they are in groups, they're being celebrated outdoors because it's safer. So look for modern LED versions that will keep the flames lit through the celebration.
The LED lights in general are super expensive new. I just had total sticker shock when I went to look at some at Joann. So, you know, if you happen to find those, I think those will be really sought after also. And they're not that big, so they're easy to ship.
And then they talked about in the other article how baking is big. So, you know, anything like cookie cutters and things like that. I do have an example of a Hanukkah Christmas, a Hanukkah cookie cutter kind of thing. This is from Etsy. These are some of the Hanukkah items that are trending. So you can see menorahs, vintage menorahs are big, you know, and some of them can go for quite a bit. Ephemera and books and things like that. And also I thought, you know, dreidels, all of this kind of stuff is trending. Menorahs are big. Vintage is huge, like we said. So, you know, look, so get an idea. You know, Etsy is a great place. Pinterest is a great place. And here is this. I thought these were adorable.
Oh, they're so cute.
Yeah, talking about baking for Hanukkah. So yeah, so Ginny says always look for the old aluminum cookie cutters. So that goes for Christmas and Hanukkah, I would assume. And if I find, okay, so Brian says that the vintage menorahs go into his collection. Yeah, there's some beautiful vintage menorahs. I wish I found more of them in my travels, but it is something that I always keep my eye out for when I am thrifting in person, which is not now. So but I thought this was awesome. And this shows this is a great example of, you know, people baking at home. Vintage, it's just kind of like encompasses everything about this holiday season. So that's a little bit for Hanukkah. And we talked about that. Yeah, so I do have some sold here too. So these, I did notice that these Swarovski crystals are these ornaments are on Poshmark and on eBay. They are selling for a lot. Yeah. So I just one of the bolos that I happened upon. Look for those. And Department 56. So I know the National Lampoon's Hallmark ornament can go for an awful lot. Apparently, there's also a bolo with the Department 56 Snow Village National Lampoon's house. So it's really crazy. A lot of these Department 56 are, you know, houses for the villages can sell for a lot. This one was just off the hook, though. I happened to find this one, and I stumbled upon this one, and I had to share it because that is a holy grail item.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of those can be kind of hit or miss, right? Like some are definitely bolos, and then some are sort of a dime a dozen. Does that sound right?
Well, some of them don't go for as much. I mean, I've sold some of them for like, you know, in the $30 range, and I've sold some of them over $100. I sold a Mickey Mouse one for a couple $100 a few years back, you know, but I haven't sold any higher than that, but some of them can go for a lot. So yeah, Jenny said anything National Lampoon is a great find. And so if you just do a search for holiday, just random search in eBay for holiday under the sold, you'll see the kind of things that are trending. If you do by best match, you'll see pajamas, kits, like we talked about, home baking items, kits, pajamas again, toys, vintage looking or retro decorations, so all of that is definitely trending. You see cozy socks, more, home decor items. So it's all what we've talked about. So, and then as far as Christmas, as mid-century is huge this year. So you'll see, and there's a mid-century, a little holiday house, and actually Heather has something to show that's along that line too. So, but not just vintage, but retro as well. But all of these things are huge this year. So it's that retro look. So, and if you look in Etsy, you'll see a lot of vintage ephemera items, a lot of, tags and cards and things like that. The glass ornaments are big. So it's really, those elves are awesome. So you'll see like a lot of that kind of stuff. So look like in the Christmas card section and the holiday, all of that, you never know what you're going to find. So
Totally.
What's that?
I said totally. Yeah. Some of these items are so beautiful, and I definitely would pick them up, but I also wouldn't necessarily expect them to be big sellers. So it's really fun to grab.
Yep, definitely. So I would highly recommend that you do, and especially on Etsy this year, because of the fact that things are more geared towards vintage. That's a great way to get an idea of what is hot. I happened to stumble upon this menorah that sold for it, and they didn't even have great pictures. I mean, if I was selling a $650 menorah, I would have had better pictures, but that was, you never know what you're going to find in the thrift store, so. And then for Hanukkah, again, I think I showed, I showed these, so okay. Yeah, and that, and then we didn't really touch on Thanksgiving too much because, like I said, people are scaling down their celebrations. But again, you'll see like very crafty kind of, things that are geared towards smaller celebrations and crafts, things like that. So I'm sorry, that's funny. Some of these things are funny. But yeah, so you'll see a lot of like really crafty kind of items. I know these are the kind of things too that I would have fun sitting down with my kids and doing right now, because boy, do they need things to occupy their time. And then for Kwanzaa, again, Kwanzaa this year is, I had written the dates down. It's December 26th. Oh, I think it's every year, you said. Yeah, December 26th to January 1st. So it's the same as we talked about for the Hanukkah, the menorah lighting. Sorry about that. For the menorah lighting ceremony. So the same thing. They do candle lighting ceremonies for Kwanzaa as well. And if you do a search, you'll see some items that there's dolls and the candle celebration sets and all of these items too for Kwanzaa. So if anyone celebrates Kwanzaa, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear more about it. But it is something that, you can find in the thrift stores, and it is also trending. So we should look. Some of these are interesting in the chat here. We have.
Oh, that was me.
You said that. Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah. Heather was saying she grew up outside of New York City. I grew up outside of Boston, so it was similar.
Yeah, and I was the same thing too. I had I was off for all the Jewish holidays. I grew up in a lot of my friends were Jewish, so, and I would be the honorary Hanukkah celebrant at their parties and whatnot. So yeah, so I know a lot about the Jewish holidays as well. So Radco. So yeah, Radco is amazing, Christopher Radco, and I know somebody in our chat last year had known Christopher Radco, and I think, and Jason actually had a personal connection to him too, which was interesting. I forget what the those are. I don't know. Yeah, Black Santa and
Oh yeah, I've heard that this is apparently a weird trend, is that some menorahs or Hanukkahs are actually not made correctly, and that you can tell that non-Jewish people are designing the decor because of that.
Okay.
Yeah, so the shamash, am I saying that right? Is the candle that you use to light the other candles is always higher, or should be higher. But occasionally you'll find a menorah that is not designed that way, and so it may not have the same appeal as I think what you're saying. Yeah, a good thing to know. Sorry for the dead air. Nadine has.
I'm trying to get back off. I was trying to get myself off of mute. I'm sorry. Did you have anything else to add? I do have. I have a couple things from. I forgot. I do have a couple things from Heather. So Heather has this. This goes to the fact that she said that it's not actual vintage, but it is, retro, and it's got that MCM vibe. So she set these up, which are really cute, and she put little menorahs in the window.
Those are so cute.
Yeah. So how fun is that? So Heather had sent me those photos of her current decorations, and it does have they're so cute. Yeah, I love the menorahs in the window. And then she also has, speaking of Christopher Radko, this is one of her listings. She said that she's also sold, it was some garland that went for quite a bit. Heather, if you can correct me in the chat, I would appreciate it. But this is something that she had, and this is gorgeous. She has this for sale right now. It's Christopher Radko tree topper. Now, I would be afraid to sell some of these because I would probably break them, but $221.25. That's going to be a nice sale. So, and I'm sure that she will sell it. So she was talking about the Radko that she had found. So, interesting. So thank you for sharing those, Heather. I appreciate it. Did you have anything else to add, Lola?
No, I think we've gone over everything. If anyone else has anything else to add in the chat, there's been some great tips and great info being shared. So thank you, everyone who's watching live and who's contributing some of your experiences selling these holiday items. It's always insightful.
Yeah, definitely. And I have some sales to share with our market report. And yeah, she said, so Heather has 2 garlands. She said 1 sold. So this sold, and this I picked up at a bag sale. It was $5 a bag at the end of the season at a consignment store. I picked it up last year, and the brand is Hanro of Switzerland, which is, I found out it is it's a high-end brand of like night clothing and lingerie, that kind of thing. So you can see that it was mercerized cotton, and it was made in Austria. So those were some tip-offs. So I could feel that the cotton was really high-end. This sold for $29. So not a huge sale, but still, for something that I paid probably less than $1 for, because I got the whole bag or I think the bag was $10, whatever. But, that was a really, that was a decent turnaround. And it was an extra small. So, and then I sold, this was another lower end sale, but again, and this was from my personal closet. I had worn this, and enjoyed it, and then I decided to sell it, and I sold it for $15. And so again, not a big sale, but this shows that Zara is a great brand to have in your Poshmark closet. It's a good bread and butter brand. We talked about our bread and butter episode, and even some of the lower end brands are steady sellers. So that wasn't listed that long. And then speaking of Ralph Lauren, if you go back to our Ralph Lauren episode too, you can appreciate this. So these were vintage polo cords from the 90s, and I sold these for $29.99, and they went to a buyer in Canada.
Very cool.
So, and then I also sold my first record in forever. So I talked about this on our vinyl episode. I did pick this up for $1. It wasn't a big seller. It had Christina in the 80s had autographed it. So whoever. So, but I did, and it goes, it's Christmas too, so it's very timely. I I sold it for $9 plus shipping, which, you know, was not a big sale, but I spent $1 for it, easy to ship, and, you know, it's off. So I was kind of proud of myself for selling a record, and I hope Jason will appreciate that too. And then I've also sold quite a bit of these. I have some more somewhere in my stash. I have to find them and list them, but I got them in batches of 5 at Goodwill quite a while ago, and they've been steady sellers for $20 to $25 each. So I sold another one of those. And I think this also plays, you know, goes to play, you know, holidays, people being home, people, you know, entertaining, you know, just in small, you know, immediate family crowds at home, that kind of thing. So
yeah, maybe some their home bar, finally like investing in their home bar, stuff like that. Yeah.
And we have a question for you. We want to know how you're making your unusual 2020 holiday season festive this year. So please let us know in the YouTube comments. And
if you have anything else you want to share, if you're watching this later and you also have, you know, a great tip, like some people were leaving in the chat during the live show, you know, we'd love to hear that too. And if this was useful for you, please share this with your friends and like and subscribe.
Yeah. And you can find us all over the place. We are mostly Thrifty Nay, and I am Thrifty Nay on all platforms except for eBay, where I am Colbrae's Asterisk Dazzle, and Lola is Run Lola Run, Lola Thrifts. I will add your eBay, which is
finally started listing a few more things. So I'm getting my eBay store back up and running after a bit of a hiatus. So definitely we'll have you can add my name once it's kind of populated again with stuff, but I'm low-by on eBay.
And definitely email us if you have an idea for an upcoming video, if you want to be a guest, if you have an idea for a guest, comments or questions, please let us know. We are taking suggestions and would love to have you on as a guest if you have something to share. So, oh, thank you, Jason. I knew that you would appreciate that. And again, it wasn't a big sale, but I mean, I paid $1 for it. It's easy to ship. You know, it's little profit, so I can't complain about that. And then next week, again, don't forget that we will have our guest, our Mindy Ketchell, on to do a live thrifting experience from her store, Helping Hands Mission Thrift. And that will be next Friday, the 20th at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific time. And Jenny had a couple more comments about Christmas. The little Dollar Tree, because oh, that's cute. Which
that's
her idea.
Yeah, as a way to use all the extra ornaments, especially you mentioned buying them in bags and then, you know, selling the great with a lot of extras left over. That's a really good idea.
Very cool. So thank you for that. And thank you everyone for tuning in, and we will see you again next week with our guest Mindy. Have a great week, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.